Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys? Hope you're doing well. Today, let me revise reading scale 1, the first lesson here in this book. So the first lesson is cite an evidence and make inferences. I think we studied and I think it took enough time. So cite an evidence means stating a proof about my guess. So I claim something, or the writer wants to say something, and he finds or he states a lot of proofs or suggests or supporting ideas that makes his idea clear and vivid. Making inferences, you suggest something or you guess something, you read a kind of any part of reading part, then you infer, means you guess, you discover, you find out what the author wants to say, what the author wants to reveal. So that's what's meant by making inference. So let's read. Authors of informational text often make explicit or direct statement of what they want readers to know. Guys, here it's normal for informational texts. So when you read an informational text, like, an essay talks about a kind of reaction, physics, chemistry, stuff like that, biology, all of these stuff are called the informational text. Informational text doesn't have any fancy opinions, so it just reveals or state, some fixed information, so it doesn't have any opinions. So it's typical for writers to mention or state direct and vivid information, explicit, direct. But sometimes it becomes really boring to receive all the information in that way. So some writers prefer to hide it or not hide it. He wants the reader to elicit it, to discover it, to infer it, depending on their own ability. All right. So, however, an author may also hint at an important fact or idea rather than stating it explicitly. Readers then have to make inferences. So what does it mean? Or educated guesses. That's what I meant by inferences. About what the author means. Inferences must be based on textual evidence. Guys, don't get your inference from your home, from your friend, or no. You have to get it from the textual evidence, and don't get it from any other text. Just get it from the same text you're reading. Specific details in the text. Guys, let's practice and apply. Here we have 4 examples. I will discuss the first 2 examples for you. Read each excerpt below, then make an inference about signature whistles based on the excerpt. Underline the evidence that supports your inference. An example has been done for you. The signature whistles seem to act like badges of identity. One dolphin can learn information about another by listening to its whistle, but they're not entirely like human names. So let's divide this piece of writing into 2 parts. The first part, that signature whistles are used for communication, to show identity. How did you know? From this part. Like badges of identity. Everyone has his own identity. All right? So this kind of communication showed every dolphin's identity. One dolphin can learn information about another by listening to its whistle, right? But they're not entirely like human names. So here he compared, in this part, he compared human to dolphins. Both of them communicate with each other. Both of them have their own identity. Both of them can understand and learn about each one identity using his or her own kind of communication. But in dolphin world, they are not communicating with signature whistles exactly like human names. That's the difference. All right? So I got it from this part. They're not entirely like human names. Of course, they have their own names, but not exactly, not entirely, not totally like human names. So the inference here, dolphin signature whistles can be compared to human names, but they're not exactly like human names. Got it? So that's my guess. That's my elicitation. I got it from what is written. All right? Of course, there are a lot of words that will help me, just like but. They're not entirely, all of these words are considered to be key words that help me to get the point. Example 2. The signature whistles clearly aren't contact calls. So, they are not contact calls because dolphins hardly ever use them within their own groups. So, dolphins use whistles to communicate, but it's not the same mean to communicate with large groups. As he said, because dolphins hardly ever use them within their own groups. So, do they commonly use signature whistles in groups? No. How did you know? Because of this word, hardly ever. So, it's not common. It's not frequent. It's not, a usual. It's not a habit. It's not a mean. It's not, I think it became clear. So dolphins do not use signature whistles as a way of staying in touch with their group. Guys, I think that it became a little bit, clear, and I hope you found it easy.